Hello there! One of the key reasons anyone buys a console is for the exclusive games. But things have changed over the last few years, with Xbox totally abandoning exclusivity, and even PlayStation is finally coming around and welcoming the PC ecosystem. Every year I find all the games with PlayStation exclusivity, from the full exclusives like Intergalactic, to the console exclusives like Ananta here, to the timed exclusives like the latest Silent Hill game. Do me a favour and give me your top 3 most anticipated games so I can cover them in more detail. Let's do this. We have to start with Wolverine. Insomniac's Spider-Man series was just the first step into their own Marvel universe, and the first thing we notice is that this version of Wolverine is not family friendly in the slightest. I actually had to re-edit this section of the video to please YouTube, all thanks to Logan's adamantium claws like a knife through butter. Outside of combat, Wolverine has heightened animalistic instincts, like a sense of smell that will likely be important to follow clues before the next high-octane battle begins. We've seen Sentinels, we've seen Omega Red, and there's Mystique, already confirmed. I wonder if Peter will show up too. Wolverine arrives on PlayStation 5 in autumn 2026. Expect this one late September or early October. Coming much sooner than that is Saros, which looks to continue the brilliance we saw in Returnal a few years back. A roguelite adventure with bullet hell moments, all set on a mysterious world with unforgiving combat. Luckily, we reawake after each defeat a little stronger than before. If Returnal was anything to go by, the story structure will rely on multiple playthroughs to unlock new story beats and face off with new bosses. I adored Returnal and thought it was perfectly pitched in difficulty, yet many gamers disagreed and found it too unforgiving, so Saros looks to improve the gameplay cycle to appeal to more gamers. Saros is only on PS5, dropping on April 30th. In March comes a free piece of DLC for Ghost of Yotei, Legends, an online co-op game mode as we team up with friends to challenge monstrous supernatural versions of the Yotei 6. There'll be 3 mission types. Survival is made for 4 players to take on waves of increasingly difficult enemies to test your skills in frantic combat. Then we have a story mode, which is designed for 2 people to tackle a series of 12 missions culminating in boss fights. And then a month later, a new raid mode will be unveiled. So if your journey with Atsu was successful, Legends mode will test you and your teammates on March 10th, only on PS5. I planned to tell you about the retro 2D God of War game coming soon. Well, it was so soon, it's already out. A passion project that tells the story of Kratos' childhood following the Spartan Creed. Sons of Sparta is a Metroidvania in style, with a constant drip of new abilities to discover, which uncover new routes and secrets in the world. God of War Sons of Sparta is out now on PS5. And to our surprise, another God of War game has just been announced. Kratos will be returning, but not in a new story. Oh no, he's going back to Greece to retell the original trilogy. It's so early in development that all we have is a logo, and we don't even know the gameplay type. Could it be hack and slash like the originals, or modernized to be closer to the God of War 2018 and Ragnarok games? It's gonna be a very long wait on this one. I'll take a punt at the release date. Let's go for Christmas 2029. There's actually another project going on at Sony Santa Monica, which could be announced at any moment. Cory Barlog, best known for directing God of War 2018 and producing Ragnarok in 2022, has been quietly working on another game for upwards of 5 years now. Those in the know say it's meeting expectations, but won't go into depth, stating it's not a new IP, but it will feel like one. So the internet being the internet tried to guess, and the most interesting are a new God of War Egypt story maybe, the return of Siphon Filter, and some even think the Legend of Dragoon will be coming back. Nobody knows for sure, so we'll need to wait, but insiders are stating the unannounced game will be coming in holiday 2027, so the reveal will be soon. Speaking of 2027 and the next huge PlayStation exclusive game, Naughty Dog's Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. Following up from the relatively grounded Uncharted and Last of Us series, the team are going full sci-fi this time around as we fly through space armed with a deadly laser sword. Aesthetically, it's the 1980s, but in the future, as car manufacturers make space vehicles now. Not much is known about Intergalactic, yet Dr. Uckman tells us in this version of reality a new religion reigns, taking humanity into the stratosphere. There is no date for Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet, yet those insiders tell us it's closer than you think, and the gameplay will be a blend of Elden Ring and The Last of Us. That sounds really interesting, but take that with a pinch of salt. Remember the Physint announcement? Back 2 years ago now, we were told of a brand new Kojima game for PlayStation as the icon returned to his action espionage roots. Yet, without Metal Gear, we haven't heard anything since, and honestly we probably won't for another year at least. But it's good to know a next-gen Metal Gear Solid-esque game from Kojima-san is coming to PlayStation. Will it be PS5 or PS6 then? A strange one now, as the next Horizon game popped up, looking rather different. And it's not a single player story structure, no, it's a tactical 3-player Monster Hunter style game with an art style which couldn't be further away from Aloy's previous adventures. Horizon Hunters Gathering. Each of the hunters has their own weapon and abilities and must dynamically adapt to take on deadly machines, with repeatable hunts that get progressively more challenging and a narrative that is canon to the other Horizon games. We've all been invited to play the beta to help shape it before release. I'll link the sign up in the description if you want to get involved. Horizon Hunters Gathering will come to PS5 and PC, and I personally hope it does come to Xbox too, because multiplayer games need a wide net to find the right audience. Sony likes partnerships with third-party studios, and they've led to a bunch of console exclusives over the years. The most keenly awaited is Phantom Blade Zero. It has huge potential, launching alongside PC. The story sees us become an elite assassin who is framed for an unspeakable crime. Gravely injured, we are given a cure that will wear off in 66 days, giving us a deadline, literally, to prove our innocence and uncover the real culprits. Combat is described as a playable kung fu movie, blending elements of hack and slash with a Souls-like backbone, but the real focus is cinematic action. There's way more complexity as each weapon is slightly different in form and effect. Some improve our stun stats, others regenerate health, some are unblockable but a bit slower. I've been following Phantom Blade Zero for years now, and the constant improvements make me certain this is going to be huge, coming on September 9th. A PlayStation published game coming in August is Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, a wonderfully stylized fighter embracing their comic book history while delivering a new take on many designs. I've taken part in the beta, and this 4-on-4 fighter feels amazing, as each round we unlock a new member of the squad while throwing opponents through the boundary screens and onto the next stage. There'll be 20 heroes to play as on day one, with Wolverine, Magic and Storm revealed recently, and 9 more on the way. Marvel Tokon hits PS5 and PC on August 6th. A game coming in 2026 is the follow-up to Kena Bridge of Spirits, a big success on PS Plus. This is Kena Scars of Kosmora. The original game felt like a Zelda adventure with a gorgeous art style and adorable companion creatures. Scars of Kosmora promises to be bigger and better in every way, as Kena is now an accomplished spirit guide and ventures to a new island with a secret past. We've seen Kena riding a new spirit mount, which suggests some open zones to explore, and as for combat, the melee staff with her magic wielding and a trusty bow make this one look like a must-play. Kena Scars of Kosmora arrives on PS5 and PC sometime in 2026. A surprise announcement at the State of Play saw the next Silent Hill game, Townfall, unveiled as a PlayStation console exclusive. This one is set in Scotland, and we play as Simon, complete with his Back to the Future style gilet. In this sleepy town, we must survive the night, but we have a new toy, an old CRT Pocket TV, which absolutely will be used to jump scare the life out of us, constantly. Townfall is coming sometime in 2026. Sony are desperate to get more live service games off the ground, after the massive heights of Helldivers 2 and the crushing lows of Concord, so it was no surprise when another was announced last year. 4Loop, a sci-fi 4-player co-op shooter which has an Edge of Tomorrow vibe, and it's another game where death is not the end and we have a magical machine that brings us back to life run after run. From some of the developers who made Back 4 Blood and Left 4 Dead, that feeling is definitely invoked here. 4Loop is currently playtesting and could drop this year, but realistically, I think this is a 2027 game. We'll see on both PS5 and PC. A game I bring up every year is Fairgames, the heist co-op shooter that is supposedly still in development. All we've seen is a CG trailer many years ago now, and nothing at all since 2026. And more recently, the game director quietly left the studio. Could this be the year we finally see gameplay from Fairgames, or will this slowly just become a forgotten project? We'll see, I guess. A massive part of gaming these days are free-to-play games, experiences that don't require an entry fee. And also on PlayStation, games that don't require PS Plus is always a bonus. Like Arknight's Enfield, which released back in January, but let's look forward instead. Probably the most hotly anticipated free game coming in 2026 is Ananta, dubbed Anime GTA by the fans, but not to be confused with another game actively looking to be called Anime GTA, but we'll get to that. Ananta gives us a full city to explore as we play the role of a supernatural investigator. We must hunt down a force called Chaos that threatens humanity. Ananta takes elements from so many other successful games, it's unreal. We've got Spider-Man swinging mechanics, we've got Watch Dogs style hacking, and tons upon tons of GTA cribbing too, like character swapping. We are still waiting to see how the game is monetized, as characters won't need to be paid for or pulled for, so it's likely a cosmetic item system that will entice us in. Ananta is coming this year to PS5, PC and mobile, with July being the earliest we'll see it. Oh, the other anime GTA is Neverness to Everness. Set in a supernatural open world city, we all live side by side with supernatural entities, and it's our job to stop the ones that turn evil. I've been playing the beta and got to admit there's something here for sure. This one absolutely does have a gacha character unlock system, which is effectively gambling. NTE is currently due to release on May 15th on PS5, PC and mobile. Sea of Remnant is scheduled for this year and it looks amazing. A pirate RPG with combat like Clair Obscur and exploration like Sea of Thieves, and all totally free. Aesthetically, I really dig the art style, and our character here is made out of wood, so the lore will be interesting. There are said to be over 300 eccentric characters to meet on our journey, and all can be asked to join our ship, building a dynamic crew system. Another anime game that doesn't want to be GTA, it wants to be Dark Souls. Unending Dawn is aiming to be the first hardcore, challenging free-to-play game set in the post-apocalypse, with ultra unforgiving combat. Sony have invested heavily in Unending Dawn, and we are hoping to see more this year. Seven Deadly Sins Origins is coming in March this year and is said to be very similar to Genshin Impact, yet this one is set in the very official world of Seven Deadly Sins. Following a brand new story in the official canon of the series, we explore the world of Britannia and put together a roster of heroes with unique abilities to fight a host of fantasy and sci-fi beings. If this really is like Genshin Impact, expect to lose hundreds of hours here. And a game I'm pretty sure has been cancelled now is Ballad of Antara, the free-to-play Souls-like game in which we earn extra characters or buy them in the store. It looked amazing at first in the reveal trailer, like a Wukong with a solo story, or the entire game playable in co-op 3 players online. A great fantasy world to explore, but since then the only source I could find was a journalist who follows Ballad of Antara who stated the team had been moved onto other games. This hurts my soul, this game had so much potential. And another one that seems to have vanished is Conallaria, the free-to-play team PvPvE shooter that had raid elements and extraction shooter tones. It's still officially coming soon, so hopefully I'll be completely proved wrong and it will come out and it will be great. PlayStation have been supporting Asian developers through the China Hero project for years, most notably Stellar Blade in 2024 and AI Limit last year. Well, there's more coming through 2026. Lulan the Cursed Sand has us playing as a skeletal warrior journeying through forgotten ruins and endless dunes to find our beloved princess. Cursed Sand has brawler vibes, hack and slashing gameplay with AoE abilities and intriguing power-ups and boss fights. Very promising for a 16-person development team. 2026 will also see Parasite Mutant, a sci-fi action horror RPG. The blurb says players play as psionic agent Nova, who is on a mission to investigate a mysterious abandoned island, eventually leading her to uncover a hidden conspiracy and secret, changing her fate completely. An upcoming Souls-like RPG is Daba Land of Waterscar. Set in a world on the brink of collapse, the player controls a human clay puppet hunting for water fragments. Looks interesting and certainly looks like a Souls-like too. Then we have Project the Perciever, with a very similar vibe, yet this one will be totally open world, and combat is based around Sekiro, with perfect sword parries as we explore as a lone warrior. And don't confuse this one with Brocade Clad Guard, which has just been announced for Phase 3 of China Hero, so likely a few years away yet. Away from Souls-like games, there is one very noteworthy shooter to look at as it nears release. Exiledge is a third-person shooter set in this sci-fi fantasy world. It looks really good and will ask us to rid the planet of the threat from the other kin, guided by a mysterious girl named Zora. We should find out more in summer. Let me know what your top 3 games on this list are, and I will endeavour to go in more detail in future. I'm Adam, you're awesome, it's been a pleasure, see ya!